Thank you for this introduction. I should talk here, or okay. So hello everybody. Yes, I'm Flo Kasearu, and the projects that I will talk today are connected and inspired from one house that my family and our relatives got back 20 years after Soviet Union collapse and Estonian independence. So this is the house. So if this is Tallinn, I don't know if there's a mouse. So this is map of the Tallinn. This is the old town, the very heart. And this is the city part where the house is, which is called Pelgulin, which means like a sheltered town where people used to hide from war a long time ago. And this is the street and the neighborhood. So it mainly consists from these olden wooden houses. And quickly from the history is that the house is built by my grandparents. This is the photo of my grandmother and my grandfather on the left. And so they built it in 1908, so the house is over 100 years old, and they had a shop on this apartment with a separate entrance, and they lived there during 45. Then in Soviet Union they escaped from the house. They lived in other city parts because Soviet government wanted to send a lot of people to far Siberia, and so they escaped. And I don't know much about this time. I just found this photo from the attic from the Soviet time. You see that there's no second door here, that they closed the shop down and then also changed the door into a window. And 91 people could give, when Estonia got independence, and people could give in the claim to get back their private property that they owned before Soviet Union. So in our family case, the governmental bureaucracy took 20 years, meaning I could move in the house 2010, when the sitting tenants had moved out to municipal houses that they were queuing for 20 years. So 2010, when we came to visit with my mother at the house, we found the house in this situation, that the doors of the apartments were broken in, and the heating systems looked like that it has been burglars there and just taken metal as much as they can and very violently. And so the house had no heating system and no water and electricity and so on. So house generally looked like this, and from the back side like this. It's like a ghost house a bit to me, and this is the back garden. So I felt like home alone there, but then I got a queue of UNESCO children. They are not children from the neighborhood, but UNESCO children who wanted to come to help me. So there were different workshops of cleaning the house from the things, because during this 100 years, people who had lived there only took new things in or imported, but they never cleaned anything. So there was a lot of cleaning to be done, and there were these mountains of cultural layers in the back garden. Yes. So I was new in this neighborhood, because before that I lived in the city center in a dormitory of the art academy, and I wanted to get to know the neighborhood, and also I wanted the neighborhood to know who I am. So the neighborhood, I don't know, from last 5 or 7 years ago, they started to make these festivals of different neighborhoods and regions and city parts. So this is the festival of my city part, one-day festival. It was happening then on this parallel street of my house. And then we took collaboratively with Eb Kubu part of it, and we were doing the performance titled Holy High Tech, and we were levitating with a vacuum cleaner on the street during the day.
She's sitting like this.
She's levitating, she's meditating and levitating. Like these yoga people who are performing, it's you have to rehearse it and meditate, and then you can do it.
Okay.
Yes.
She's sitting on something.
I'm not going to tell you. It's It's wholly high-tech, yes. Anyway, so the monotone and regular household activities may lead to meditative state of consciousness or trance. Yeah, so while being a new inhabitant, we also brought new dimension to this neighborhood, like with this performance, and it was, in this case, successful. People noticed, and yes. So 1 year later, on 24th of April 2013, I established in the house a site-specific project which is called Flo Kasearu's House Museum. And this deals with the topic of home, domesticity, being a house owner, mother and artist. So these are photos from the opening. This is the back garden with some art installations. This is the museum guide. I also have a museum guide with 6 languages. Like if Kumu has this guides, then they are maybe in 3 or 4 languages, but my house museum has like 6 language museum guide. And this is my living room. What I did was that I was not like on the street doing the performance, but the museum was happening in my private space, in my home building, and in the hallway, in apartments, in the attic, in the basement, and in the garden. So this is my apartment where I live, and this is from the other side, the kitchen part. So this is the typical, if you visit somebody's house museum, you see usually this thing that, or somebody's table, somebody's chair, that has survived from their lifetime and put artificially somehow in the room where they lived. But as I'm still living, all my things are there and they are in the original places, and they are all like labeled. You see a bit with this white pen I have written like floors, oven floors, matches floors, wall floors, this and this. So everything is labeled floors, floors, floors. Like projecting this way the future that, if I would be, dead, and then how the house museums look like. I turn my private rooms into public and inviting total strangers to visit me and my museum. So I was communicating with the community in an ironical, egoistic way, and not visiting them myself, but creating a situation where they could be motivated in visiting me. And also, at that time I got pregnant and became a mother, so I could not be so active also to be part of other activities. So it was also a solution to that people would visit me, as I could not visit them so much. So I was dealing with institutionalization, being at the same time an artist, house owner, and a mother. This is a series of photographs of homeless people. Also the topic of homeless came into my house museum as I was dealing with the topic of home and domesticity. So these are like model photographs of homeless people wearing a wig with the shape of the house in different landscapes.
Is it real hair?
Huh?
Real hair?
It's real hair, from somebody's grandmother who had.
Take that pointer away from that picture.
Sorry? I take it away, or? Sorry. Should I go back again? Okay. So yes, my house museum is ironically egoistic project which solves many of my problems. Like in the attic, I have an archive and depository. As an artist, I have the problem where to keep my artworks, and the ideal place is in somebody's museum collection. Estonia museum has bought some things, but they cannot buy all the things. They're not so rich, so it's good that I have my own house museum and I can have all my artworks, or those artworks which are not sold, in my own house museum collection department, which is in the attic in these white boxes. In the basement I have a factory which is working 24/7 and producing beautiful objects, as art is supposed to be beautiful. And also, as I have to be in competitiveship with other artists, also the factory is that I cannot do art 24/7, but I also mother and other things. So I have this factory where other people work for me and produce these projects. And also, like having a permanent exhibition in my house is good because in some galleries in the city, you have to pay rent to do a show there in Estonia, in Tallinn. And also, I don't like this thing to apply for a gallery and then only have this 2-3 week short exhibition and then take it away and also pay money. So I'm not supporting this system. So it's better to show the artworks in my home and rent-free. These are drawings from the fears of the house museum. This is like art therapy for me. These are the drawings that are here by the staircase that what can happen with a house. So like this is the fear if relatives come back and they build half of the house into skyscraper because they are not into this olden wooden house so much. And other different natural earth catastrophes that can happen. Because I'm the one now who is like responsible of the house, so I'm also having these nightmares and stress that what can happen if I go away and so on. So this is helping me. Like if I share my problem, then it's easier for me to be. And this is the library. I also have this different museum facilities like a museum library and museum children corner, which is the sandbox in this car thing. And so I don't wait until time raises the value of my art. I do it myself by projecting my future now, by naming my house into a museum. With that, I am buying myself symbolic capital of official culture. We also have this slide instead of the stairs because the house has 2 staircases and this is the first one if you enter the house. So people have mainly used these stairs and I made a slide on that for the next 100 years so that people would use only the other back stairs so that they would be used equally, otherwise this is too much used. And also, I connected my museum sometimes with there's this technical director of the museum with a purple blouse, jumper. He's doing also like fixing bicycle service while the museum is opened. So from 2013, I have taken part in my neighborhood festival with my house museums, which is like 3 years now. And the audience is the neighborhood and also people who have never visited contemporary art gallery before. And they come to my museum and then it depends on me that because I do the guided tour to them and how well I explain everything, that which feeling they get from the contemporary art, that if they will visit something again or not. So I feel like responsible work there. And when museum got 1 year old, then we opened museum sauna. We renovated this old washing kitchen, which is in the backyard, and we renovated so that we used all the space. So it's a big space, and if we heat the sauna, then it's a pity just to go with my family there. But now I made the sauna also public, a museum sauna, and I invite other people from neighborhood to come also to the sauna. At least 10 people fit there. And so, people from community are welcome to join sauna and we can talk about art and other things. And this year in the festival, during the district festival days, this is a lady from my street and she just came during the festival days and said that she wants to be a voluntary, and she heard one of my guided tour and then she started to do guided tours on her own, just helped other people, went to them and started explaining the works how I talk, which was a really relief for me, because if I do many guided tours in a row, my voice goes away. And then, so it was really nice to have her helping me, showing things around. Yes, this is just how it looks in the wintertime, a postcard photo. So, yes, I don't know. This is It doesn't. Okay. Anyway, as I'm still a living artist, I do also new artworks, and I put new artworks in the permanent collection of my museum, which are connected with the house museum. And I did a video. I will show you the video now. So yeah, the video is filmed during roof maintenance works performed on a roof of my house museum, and the metal taken off the roof was folded into plain figures, like the do-it-yourself models folded by children from paper. And less than 1 year ago, there were news about Russian military airplanes visiting Estonian air zone without permission and doing it several times. So inspired from this heightened levels of paranoia in Estonian media about these planes, about these plane visits, my planes are responding to the current political milieu of strained international relationship between Russia and the West. So the do-it-yourself and reuse technology metal planes appear to be symbolic of military action, but also they are representative of an exit tragedy, the crossing of the country's border by air, immigration and emigration issues. So I thought to play this intellectual revenge game and bring my planes to Russia. So thanks to this critical mass project, I got this opportunity to bring them here. And so they landed in different places. This is like the St. Petersburg is written here, so arriving to the St. Petersburg city, one plane arrived by Neva, and one in the garden of this Dacia Kromova, where the critical mass exhibition took place. And so they were like on the grass there, nicely landing, but then happened this, that during the nighttime, as the park is opened, some local people made some interaction, and they wanted to, I don't know, drown the planes or something. So one plane was, is it the Neva River, this one, or no?
Yes.
It was
no,
like...
it's not.
So the nose was in the river, and the other one was on the other side in the, I don't have a photo of that, no, sorry. The other one was in the other lake, nose was in the like water. So there was some interesting interaction from local people, which was a very nice composition that they put the planes. So they were there during the night, and then the video was also screened in the garden. But then I decided to take the planes back to Estonia. As also the Russian planes in Estonia, they were actually visiting this air zone very shortly, not like being 1 month in Estonian air zone, but just quickly. So I also came with my planes here quickly. I had an interaction from locals, and then I left. So this is the nighttime. We leave secretly, quietly away. Do I have time? I quickly also explain.
Like 2 minutes.
2 minutes, yes. So this is a project also that my house museum produced this year in August. It's titled House Music. And it's like a theater project. Again, now I went from my private room back to the street, and I put this tribune in between houses. This is right in opposite of my house museum, the view. So there's a tribune. What's now? There's something wrong. Some picture. There's also one photo was with people, which is not playing here. People sitting on this tribune. And so I created a situation, that where Estonians could come to the street, because Estonia, we are very modest and like shy and humble, and we rarely come to the street to protest or show any like emotions or opinions. So this is like a situation that people would come to sit on the street and spend some time. So first I thought this house music could be also only this installation of people sitting there and observing the surrounding. But then I couldn't resist also to bring some more elements in. There were some different cars, like live circle cars, like this white and black cars running around. And also all this was framed by the neighborhood, so that in Facebook, in Estonia, Facebook is quite commonly used, and also community feeling is created in Facebook. That in Facebook, our neighborhood has this own page, and people put different posts there. And in this house music performance, we made from these posts. We edited them a bit, also the comments, and we made like little poems. And a voice read them in, and from the loudspeakers from the house, the different posts were like read loud again to the street, to people, to the audience. And these different posts are on like different topics. There are also, I don't know if you saw this one, which I put also in email. This anyway.
You want to go online to show something?
No. I can just read one that there are on different topics, different posts, and it is quite interesting material. And like one example, I can just read. Now that the time of open windows has once again begun, would people be so kind as to not let their car engines whir for half an hour under their people's opened windows? And the national anthem coming from the tower every morning, couldn't that be turned down a bit? Couldn't the toll of a church be somehow forbidden? So this is about the different sounds that are disturbing people in this neighborhood and different comments. And also there are other, like a guy who posts every week some historical information about the neighborhood, because he's also a history teacher in the school and also a member of a political party, so he's doing his promotion there. And there are also people who address ethical issues and try to moralize and teach the neighborhood people and kids and pet owners. Of course, there are different real estate announcements, which are some very interesting written. And also like about the refugee, there is like a big discussion was going on if people support refugees or not. And also about announcement to find the nicest looking house and so on. So very different posts, which were during this 1 hour coming from the loudspeaker to the street. Again, so this was, yes, like a gesture to bring discussion back to the streets. And there were then other action going on besides that, like this white truck coming and this white canvas being transported in the house, like moving into the house, which was a very like maybe also abstract comment on the refugee topic of coming and having this new start from the beginning. Yes, so altogether it was like a row theater where street was the main character. And this is also, there was some other interesting like abstract cars driving around, also like driverless cars and this futuristic, and some protest cars and some cars with naked guys in a compositions and so on. And there was also some nice proposals from the neighborhood. Like one neighbor lady, she proposed, because the title is house music, and in the end there's just 10 minutes of house music coming from the loudspeakers also. And she was proposing that the house music that could be put in the beginning, because this is so loud that then all the people came out from the, I finished, this is the last point. All people came out to the street after this 10 minutes of having a loud house music, that this could be in the beginning. So she was like trying to start to change the performance and trying to analyze and to propose some solutions how to have more people there. So I also want to make a video about this performance. So that's why I only have photos now, because it happened recently and I haven't edited together with a text. So yes, that's all from me. If you have any questions, then.